Assalamu alaikum everyone. There is a difficult moment in every person's relationship with themselves. It is the moment when we discover that the person we have spent our entire life defending is not always the person we need to protect. We ask Allah to reveal the truth, but often we only expect that truth to be about the world around us. We ask Him to show us who hurt us, who wronged us, who failed us. But what if Allah also reveals something within us? A pride we did not notice, an attachment we did not recognize, a desire to be right that was stronger than our desire to be sincere. Because the most difficult truths are not always the ones that challenge our beliefs. Sometimes they are the ones that challenge our image of ourselves. We may call it dignity when it is actually pride. We may call it honesty when it is actually the desire to win. We may call it protecting our heart when we are protecting our ego. And this is why the ego is such a subtle struggle. It does not always appear as arrogance. Sometimes it appears as a heart that cannot accept correction, a person who cannot apologize without explaining, someone who feels disturbed when another person receives what they wished for, someone who struggles when Allah's plan does not resemble their own. The ego's deepest desire is not always to be above others. Sometimes it is simply to remain in control, to believe my understanding is enough, my timing is better, my way makes more sense. And this is where the believer faces one of the greatest inner battles. Will I surrender my will to Allah, or will I keep trying to place myself at the center? This is the lesson hidden in the story of Iblis. His downfall was not because he did not know Allah. He knew, he witnessed, he understood. But when Allah gave a command that challenged the image he had of himself, his hidden pride appeared. He said in Surah Araf, ayah number 12, I am better than him. A single sentence revealed the disease of the heart, not disbelief, not ignorance, a refusal to surrender. And perhaps this is why the word that appears more dangerous in the language of the ego is not hate, it is I. My opinion, my honor, my plan, my expectation, my way. Islam does not ask us to erase ourselves. Islam created us with dignity. The problem begins when the self forgets its place, when the servant begins acting as though they are the owner, when the creation forgets it is dependent upon the Creator. The purification of the heart is not about destroying the self, it is about returning it to its proper position. A servant before Allah, a heart that knows, I have value because Allah created me. I have purpose because Allah gave me one. I surrender because Allah knows what I cannot see. This is the journey of the Nafs. The lower self asks, how can I make life follow my desires? The purified soul asks, how can I align myself with what Allah loves? The lower self sees surrender as losing. The purified heart sees surrender as peace. This is why the humility of the Prophet ﷺ was so extraordinary. He was the beloved of Allah, yet he never carried himself as someone above people. He served, he listened, he forgave, he sat with those others overlooked. His greatness did not need to announce itself. True greatness is never threatened by humility. And perhaps this is the wisdom of sujood. The ego spends its life trying to rise above criticism, above vulnerability, above admitting weakness. Then Allah asks us to place the most honored part of our body, the forehead, upon the ground, not to lower us, to free us. Because in that moment, the heart remembers, I was created by Allah, I belong to Allah, I will return to Allah. Maybe the question we should ask ourselves is not, why do people fail to understand me? But, where am I refusing to understand what Allah is teaching me? Where am I defending myself more than seeking truth? Where am I holding on because surrender feels uncomfortable? Because the ego promises us strength through control. But Allah gives us something greater through surrender, peace. The ego says, protect yourself at all costs. Faith says, trust the one who created you. And when the heart finally stops fighting for control, it discovers the freedom of belonging completely to Allah. May Allah purify what we cannot see within ourselves, soften our hearts, protect us from the hidden arrogance of the Nafs, and make us among those who return to Him with hearts that are sincere and at peace. Ameen.